I remember the exact sound it made, that tiny, harmless skirt of my daughter's backpack zipper brushing against my sister's shiny red car. A sound so small, but in my family, even breathing wrong was a sin if it wasn't my sister doing it. My daughter, Lily, only 7 years old, froze immediately. Her big brown eyes widened, her hands clutched her little backpack straps, and she whispered, "Mom, I didn't mean to. I swear I didn't touch it hard. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video." She didn't. There wasn't even a scratch, just a faint line of dust that could be wiped off with a finger. But before I could even kneel down and check it, my mother stormed out of the house like she'd been waiting her whole life to explode. "What did she do now?" she barked, shoving me aside like I wasn't even there. Lily stepped back. My mother stepped forward. Then it happened fast, too fast for my brain to catch up. My mom grabbed my daughter's face with one hand, squeezing her cheeks so tightly her lips puckered. Lily whimpered. I reached out. "Mom, stop! She didn't—" My mother whipped her head toward me, eyes blazing. "Shut up! Your child is a curse. Everything she touches turns to trash." My heart dropped so hard, I swear I felt it hit the floor. Lily cried harder, her small body shaking. But my mom didn't let go. Instead, she yanked her forward, dragged her across the driveway, and slammed her down on her knees in front of the car. "Look at the damage you did!" my mom screamed. There was no damage, not even a smudge. But my sister, Tanya, came out smiling like she'd just won some sick lottery. "Oh, wow," Tanya said, crossing her arms. "Of course it was her. That kid is always ruining something." Lily's tears fell onto the concrete, one drop after another. I tried to pull Lily toward me, but my mom shoved me so hard I stumbled back. "You will not interrupt," she hissed. "You never learned respect. Maybe I can teach your daughter since you failed." She grabbed Lily's shoulders and shook her so violently her backpack fell off. My daughter sobbed. "I'm sorry, please, I didn't mean it. Mommy?" My mother slapped her across the face. The sound echoed through my bones. I saw red, literal red, because my vision blurred with rage. But still, I forced myself not to move, because I knew how it went in my family. If I stepped in, they'd hurt her worse. Tanya leaned against the car, smirking. "Make her apologize properly," she said. "Kids like her don't understand unless they're broken in." I looked right at my sister. "What is wrong with you?" I whispered. She laughed. "Existing around your daughter. That's what's wrong." My dad walked out next, chewing food, not even pretending to care. "That little brat again," he sighed. "Didn't I tell you? Her kind ruins everything she touches. Just like her mother." He looked at Lily like she was something stuck to the bottom of his shoe. Then he pointed the spoon at me. "And you. You should be grateful she only scratched a car and not someone's life, like you did to us." That hit harder than any slap. My childhood flashed through my mind. The nights they made me sleep on the floor, the days they called me a mistake, the years they treated me like a servant while Tanya was their queen. And now they were doing it to my daughter. My mother shoved Lily's head down toward the car. "Apologize exactly how I tell you," she said, voice shaking with fury. "Say you're worthless. Say you're sorry for being born clumsy." Lily looked at me terrified, begging me silently to make it stop. I felt my throat close. I felt my nails dig into my palms. I felt something inside me snap, cleanly, quietly, permanently. But before I could speak, my mother yanked Lily's hair, jerking her forward so hard she screamed, "You are a problem!" Mom spat into her ear. "And problems get fixed!" I stepped forward, shaking. "Let her go!" My mom didn't even glance at me. "Make her apologize or I swear—" I didn't let her finish. "Let my daughter go." My voice cracked like a whip. My father scoffed. "Oh, look," he said. "She finally thinks she's a mother. Too bad she's raising garbage." My sister burst into laughter. "Just make the kid kneel," Tanya said, kicking the backpack aside. It'll be cute. Lily sobbed harder, trembling so violently she almost fell. And then, my mom lifted her hand again. That was it. I grabbed my mother's wrist mid-air. Everyone froze. My mother stared at me in shock, like she couldn't believe I had touched her holy arm. My dad yelled, "You dare!" But I didn't look away from my mother's eyes. "Touch her again," I said quietly, "and I swear you'll regret it." My mom ripped her hand away, stumbling back. For the first time in my life, she actually looked startled. Tanya muttered, "Oh, wow, she's finally grown a spine." My dad stepped in front of Mom like he was protecting her from me. "You think you can stand up to us?" he snarled. I picked up Lily, clutching her trembling body to my chest. "I don't think," I said. "I know." My mother spat at my feet. "Get out," she hissed. "And don't come crawling back when that child ruins your life." I didn't look back. I carried Lily to the car, buckled her in with shaking hands, and drove away while she cried into her sleeves. She whispered, "Mom, why do they hate me?" I couldn't answer, because I knew the truth. They didn't hate her. They hated anything that belonged to me, but they had no idea what I was about to do next, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't scared of them. I was done. And the revenge I planned? They would feel it every single day. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I blinked, I saw Mom's hand smashing across Lily's tiny cheek, her voice hissing, "Your kind ruins everything you touch." Lily curled into me on the couch, whimpering every time the house creaked. I held her so tight, my arms shook. By morning, I already knew what I had to do, but first I had to act exactly the way they expected. Small, quiet, apologetic. If I moved too fast, they'd sense something. Mom always smelled fear like blood and water. When I came into the kitchen with Lily, Dad didn't even look up from his plate. He stabbed a fork into his eggs and muttered, "Hope the brat learned something yesterday." Mom smirked without turning around. "If she didn't, we can teach her again. A child that damages a car needs consequences." Lily instinctively hid behind my leg. Mom darted her hand out like she was going to grab Lily again. Lily flinched so hard she hit her head on the cabinet. Mom laughed. "Look at that, jumpier than a stray dog." Dad joined in, wiping his mouth. "Her daughter's ruining her, Janet. That child's a curse." I swallowed everything burning inside me. I bent down, fixed Lily's shirt quietly, and whispered, "Stay close to me." All day. Mom finally turned and looked at me like she was inspecting mold. "You're taking her out today, right? Good. She's an eyesore." "We'll be out for a while," I said slowly. Mom shrugged. "Good. The house smells better when you two leave." I kept my face blank, neutral, because if they saw even a flicker of emotion, they'd know something had shifted. When I stepped outside with Lily's hand in mine, Dad shouted from the doorway, "And don't come back acting like you deserve anything. You should still be apologizing for that scratch." I didn't turn around, not even once. At the bus stop, Lily tugged my sleeve. "Mommy, are we ever going back?" I knelt beside her, brushing the bruise under her eye with my thumb. "No," I said. Her eyes widened. "We're not going back today. We're not going back tomorrow. And soon. They'll wish they never touched you." Lily blinked at me innocently. "Because they were mean?" "Because they forgot something important," I whispered. "I don't break easy." I took her to the small clinic near the park. The nurse gasped when she saw Lily's face. "What happened?" Before I could speak, Lily whispered, "Grandma hit me because of a car." The nurse froze. Her eyes shot to mine. "Do you want this documented?" I nodded. My heartbeat felt like thunder. She filed everything, every bruise, every mark, every detail Lily remembered. When we walked out, I had actual proof in my hand, and that was only step one. Next, I took Lily to the school counselor, a woman who had always been gentle with her. When Lily lifted her sleeve to show the finger-shaped marks on her arm, the counselor went pale. "Your parents did this?" I nodded. "And they hurt you too?" I rolled up my own sleeve, revealing the old bruises they never let heal. She inhaled sharply and said, "This needs to go to the principal, immediately." Within an hour, the principal, counselor, and a mandated reporter had filed a formal complaint. My parents had no idea that their world had already started cracking, but I wasn't done. When I went home that evening, I didn't go inside. I didn't need to. I was only there for the final piece. Dad stormed out the front door, furious. "Where the hell were you? Your mother needed help cleaning, and that daughter of yours—" I cut him off for the first time in years, my voice calm and dead still. "Don't touch my daughter again." Dad's nostrils flared. "What did you just say?" Mom came out behind him, wiping her hands with a towel. "Don't talk back in front of the neighbors, idiot." Dad stepped closer. "You think you're tough now? You'll always crawl back." Mom smirked. "You two survive because we let you. Don't forget who owns this roof." That was exactly the line I needed. I pressed record on my phone, visible, deliberate. Mom's face drained. Dad's eyes widened. "You recorded that?" he snapped. I didn't say a word. I saved the video, backed it up twice, then slipped the phone into my pocket. Mom lunged like she wanted to snatch it away, but I stepped back. "You touch me again," I said quietly, "and you'll regret it." Dad barked out a laugh. "What can you do?" I didn't answer. I just looked at him, calm, collected, unreadable. And that scared him more than anything else I'd ever done. When Lily and I walked away that evening, they didn't even shout after us. They just stared, confused, knowing something was wrong, but too arrogant to understand how bad it would get. They thought I was powerless. They thought they were untouchable. They thought hurting my daughter would break me. They had no idea it had awakened something else entirely. They didn't know that by the next evening, everything they valued would be ripped out from under them, publicly, loudly, and with consequences they couldn't escape. They had no idea that I wasn't just leaving. I was coming back, and I was bringing hell with me. I didn't go back to their house after that day, not to check on them, not to argue again, not even to collect anything I left behind. But I didn't disappear quietly either. Silence wasn't the revenge this time. I wanted something real, something they would feel every single day, something they couldn't twist into family drama or brush off like everything else. So I started with the one person they cared about more than themselves, my sister, Kayla. 2 weeks after the car scratch incident, Kayla came crying to me at my job. Not because she cared about my daughter, not because she wanted to apologize, but because she had just received a notice from school. Her scholarship, the one she bragged about for years, was under review because someone had reported parental fraud on the financial documents she used. "I know it was you!" she screamed in the lobby, all eyes turning. I didn't flinch. "It wasn't me. It was your own paperwork catching up to you," which was technically true. All I did was submit a quiet, anonymous verification request with the school. No claims, no accusations, no drama, just a standard review trigger. But the fallout? Immediate. My parents stormed into my workplace the next morning. My dad slammed his fist on the counter. "You want to destroy the family? You ruined Kayla's future." I looked him straight in the eyes. "No, you ruined it when you raised her to believe she was above everyone and untouchable." Mom pointed at my daughter, who was coloring in a corner of my office. "This is all because of that girl. Everything has gone wrong since she came along." I stood, walked between them and my child, and said the one sentence they never expected. "You will never speak to her again." They laughed like it was a joke. So I handed them the envelope, the same one they used on me years ago. Inside, a cease and desist order drafted by a legal clinic for victims of family harassment. It stated clearly, any contact, verbal or physical, with me or my daughter would result in immediate legal action. Dad's face drained. Mom's mouth fell open. "You wouldn't—" "I already have," I said. They tried playing tough. They tried yelling. They tried threatening. Nothing worked. The clinic lawyer followed through, documented everything, and within a month, my parents were banned from my workplace. They were warned by the county for harassment, and my sister's scholarship was officially revoked after the investigation, not because of me, but because they had lied on every document and now the school finally checked. My parents' favorite child fell from the throne. Their reputation in their community evaporated. The golden daughter they worshipped became a full-grown burden they had to support on their own. They begged. They called. They showed up crying at my apartment door. I never opened it. I didn't scream. I didn't expose them online. I didn't get revenge through poetic metaphors or dramatic speeches. I just made sure they faced consequences from real systems they couldn't manipulate. Today, my daughter laughs easily again. She sleeps without flinching. She knows she's safe. And my family? They live with what they earned, every single day. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.